Hello, welcome back to Deconstructing with Dawn. I have done 3 videos today. The other 2 are about unboxing, so if you're interested in that aspect of my sharing, hop on over to see the Target beauty boxes and the Ipsy unbagging on my channel. This one is about Ancestry update number 12. I think I'm at number... I really should check that before I open my mouth. But anyhow, we have been on vacation for the past couple weeks, and it was all about family. I wanted to just like acknowledge family and find family and be a part of family because of, you know, the upending that went on in my life in November. And so it was like about a 6-month mark, actually 6 months to the day on one of these trips, that I'd found out that my father wasn't my father, and I had this whole new family and that kind of thing. So the first half of our vacation, we went to Colorado. And my entire maternal side of my family is from Colorado via Ohio, pretty much. And for like 120 years, they were centered around Colorado. My mom was born there, all of her siblings, that kind of thing. My grandfather, his grandfather, or his father, not his grandfather's from Germany. But anyhow, so that's why we wanted to go to Colorado. We wanted to see our middle daughter. She's in the DOD and lives a couple hours below where my mom's whole family came from. So we went and visited her, and then she humored me and took me up to the mountains and my husband, and we, you know, kind of found different spots where my family would have been at, the cities that they lived in. And luckily, thanks to census reports, I was able to find the address to my great-grandfather, which would have been my mother's grandfather, and I found the property that he had owned in the 1910 census. And we went there, and it had just recently, like, they're not even done putting the road in yet. They like tore up the entire street and put in a city park on his property. So his house isn't there anymore, but this beautiful park is there. It's just gorgeous, and there's these big trees, and I knew that my mom had to have played underneath those trees. So I've been on this like quest to spread my mom's ashes, you know, everywhere that I can. She died at 48 and didn't get to see a lot of the world, and loved to travel with me. So I've taken her to Stonehenge. I've spread her there, Euro Disney, the Colosseum in Rome, and the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland. So I thought it would be a full circle moment to bring her back to her grandpa's house. And so I spread her ashes underneath the trees that I knew she had played at as a kid. And I knew she played there because she often talked about her grandma. So I knew she had been there, and it was just like full circle, and I was ugly crier, bawling my head off. But anyhow, so that was important to reaffirm family. As mad as I am at her right now, you know, there's still a mother-daughter relationship there that I have to honor. So it was nice to spread her ashes there. We went to the cemetery, found, I mean, 140-year-old family, you know, headstones, and they were my family, and that kind of thing. It was just amazing. It's amazing once you've started this ancestry experience, and you know all these names, and then even though they're dead, and there's this weird kinship that you have with this stone, and just to be there was amazing. We went and saw my great-grandpa and great-grandma, and I don't know, it was really nice. Then we came home for a couple days, and then went up to Washington, which is where my best friend and my cousin live. My best friend and cousin married about 25 years ago, so my best friend's going to be my friend for life. So we went up there because my second cousin, who's their son, graduated, and her sons had an eagle ceremony. So we have 3 eagles. Our son's an eagle, their sons are eagles now, and so it was just a beautiful family experience. And my uncle, who is older than my mom, was there. And there was 6 kids, 3 boys, 3 girls. The 3 girls had exactly the same mother and father. The 3 boys have different fathers, and the same mother. So he's the second to the oldest son, and there's a big, like, he has a similar story to me. And so it was nice to sit there, and he's very reserved. So it was nice to sit there and pick his brain. And he doesn't talk much, and he's just quiet and reserved and stands back at the side and just watches everything go on. And I got him to sit down, and I was just pulling teeth, getting him to tell me stories like, do you remember this person? And I was able to ask him if he remembers my mom being pregnant with me. And he didn't remember her being pregnant with me until towards the end. That was obvious because she was 16 and she was pregnant with me, and then he knew. But they lived together, so it wasn't, she kept her pregnancy pretty secret for a long time. But he remembers the Easter of 71, which she would have been pregnant with me because I was born in October of 71. And he remembered her bringing a redheaded guy to the family for the Easter, function that they had. And he remembers that my mom and her sisters had all dressed in the same dress. And he remembered different details that, I really didn't expect a man to remember, but he remembered that because his wife was one of the girls that wore the special Easter dress. And he remembers my father being there, and this redheaded guy, and he's like, wait a minute, I thought your dad was, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. He's like, so your dad was that guy? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, how do you know? And I explained the whole ancestry thing, and again, he has his own, we know who his father is now, but he was about the age that I was when my mom first tried to tell me my dad was some other guy. So, we have a kinship there. And so it's just really nice to get some information from him, to spend time with family that, met my father. Nobody knows my father, and to, you just want to hear every single thing that you can about this guy that I'll never know. And so he said he has pictures from that event, that Easter. So he's going home today from Washington. He said he'll look through his pictures, and if he can find any pictures that have that guy in it, he's going to send it to me. So that would be absolutely amazing. So anyhow, our vacation was spent just around family. We didn't, go to Europe or anything like that, but we did what we did filled my soul. And I wanted to share that with you guys, that it doesn't matter where you're from. Your family that you have is who you have. And that is what's most important. So to all of you out there that are looking and you don't find them, or you do find them, it doesn't matter. Your family is who you're around. And I know the need that you have to find everybody. But sometimes just take a step back and love the ones you're with. And it filled my soul to know that even though I'll probably never know my father, and I while we were gone, in fact, I got emails from two of my father's family members. His uncle Mike, which is now my great uncle, he sent me a message saying, I saw that you were on my tree on this thing, and just contacted me out of nowhere. And signed it, love Uncle Mike. And I was just crying that I'm accepted by this guy, and he doesn't know me. And then I got another message on Ancestry saying, hi, it looks like we've been matched up. It looks like your father is my cousin, and these are the top matches that I have to my father. And so it was just a family experience. Like I wouldn't trade these past 2 weeks of family bonding with my mother's family, my best friend, my husband, my kids, and the small amount of contact that I have with my dad's family. I wouldn't trade any of that for a trip to Europe. It was really magical and filled my soul and made me realize that it doesn't matter. I am who I am. I am 50% of this man. And it's okay that I may never know him, because who I do know fills my soul. And so for all of you that are looking, and if you don't find, it's okay. Just look around you. You may have your own kids. You may have your husband. Whatever, if you're adopted, the parents that loved you enough to seek you out and adopt you, to bring you into their home, those are your family. And love them. It doesn't matter. Just fill your soul. I know you're reaching and trying to fill that hole, and I get it. I will still look, but this past week has taught me that they are not who I am. I am who I am by who I am surrounded by now. Anyway, I'll update you guys the next time. One of these days I hope I get to meet my dad's family because they are local. I mean, within about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So, you know, if I ever do get to meet them, that will be just more reaffirmation and more filling of the soul. But anyhow, thank you so much for watching my journey.